Welcome. Today I would like to talk to you about a major concern dealing with our children and technology. And it doesn't have to deal with killer robots or deadly AI like on the movies or TV. No, it's something far simpler. It's called social media. Hello, my name is Jesse, and today I'm going to talk to you about two major ways social media can negatively impact our children if we're not careful. The first one has to do with bullying. Now, when I was younger, most of the bullying happened at school. And when we went home for the day or the weekend or even the summer break, the bullying stopped. But that's not always the case nowadays thanks to social media. Social media has transformed bullying into now what is now considered or called cyberbullying. And cyberbullying can happen 24/7 nonstop thanks to social media. The worst part is, you hear about it on the news and TV all the time that another kid has committed suicide because of being bullied, or worse, they take it upon themselves to get retaliation for the bully and they cause a school shooting. And you might think to yourself, well, that's never going to happen to me. My kids aren't going to get bullied or bullied on social media. And that's what I thought too. Now, granted, those are, extreme scenarios that it can happen, but it could happen. And with my oldest, we didn't really allow him to have social media at first because that was one of our concerns. But it turns out, kids kind of do what they want sometimes. And one day, I was talking to him. He was about 12 or 13, and he seemed down. I was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Well, I'm being bullied." And I was like, "Okay, are you talking to your teachers about it?" He's like, "No, they won't do anything about it." And I was like, "Well, that's their job, buddy. They're supposed to do stuff about it. They're there to protect you." And he's like, "Well, it's happening online, on social media." And I was like, "Well, you're not supposed to have social media." He's like, "Yeah, I know, but I have one." And I got on and looked at it, and he was right. They were being pretty mean. They were saying stuff that adults wouldn't even say to another adult. And so one, got in trouble for having social media. But two, I was like, well, they're just saying this to get to you, buddy. They're just gonna say words. It's just like bullying in life, but like I said, it's nonstop. And these kids don't even might not even know because one kid could post it, and then a bunch of other kids or other people who are just hateful just jump on and constant and constant and constant. And I was like, well, this is one of the reasons why I didn't want you to have social media in the first place. So we agreed that we deleted it and we would, address it at a later date. So that worked for the most part, and we discussed with him that even though you're being bullied, they're just saying words to get to you. The whole phrase "sticks and stones may hurt, but our words will never hurt me." Pretty sure that's how it goes. Anyways, might be wrong there. But anyhow, so that kind of fixed that situation for a little bit. But as a concern, we got to be careful with. Definitely we should definitely teach our kids not to want to be the bullies, and two, that if we're being bullied online, that it might just be easier just to delete it and be done with it. And now the second concern with social media deals with unrealistic expectations of what life should be. So fast forward a couple years, and my oldest was seeing things online, and there was kids with nice ripped bodies and abs, and they were running around with money and tons of stuff. Unrealistic views. They were always these Instagrammers and TikTokers are always happy, never sad, just always, oh, that's what my life should be. And it led him to be kind of depressed. He's like, well, my life's not that good. I don't have all this stuff. Well, they're better than me. Once again, I had to go, hey, buddy, that's not real. When we were kids, we had, the lifestyles of the rich and the famous. But we knew that was like, superstars and glamour. And nowadays, these kids can, they can put a smile on and be in front of the camera and everything's great. And that's what kids see. They don't understand that, once the camera's off, they're just like them. They've got their own issues to deal with in life. They're not always, ha ha ha, look at me, I'm so happy. Because, like I said, if they turn the camera off, they could be sad just like you. Or, other daily life issues are really affecting them as well. So I had to explain to them once again that, everything you see online in social media isn't always the truth. It's there. It's their happy moments. So basically going back, I think as adults and parents, we definitely have a concern for our children to be on social media to begin with because of like, bullying or the unrealistic expectations that they can get in life. So Well, I think one of the things we can do is one, either limit or totally not allow younger kids, pass some legislation or something that where social media isn't allowed for, under 16 or, because young minds aren't developed. So they don't know what's real and what's not real. And two, if we're going to allow kids to have social media, one, to combat the bullying, we need to make sure that our kids, for one, aren't being the bullies, and two, aren't being bullied, And if they are, we need to help them out through that and discuss with them that, hey, they're not being, that's not real what they're saying. They're just being hateful, being punks. Don't let it get to you. And I know that's easier said than done, but I think if we, we push hard, we can do that. We can get through to our kids that, hey, they don't really mean what they mean. They might just be taking it out on you because don't have something right in their life, so they're like, oh, I can pick on you and make it your problem and not mine. And then two is if we explain to our kids that everything they see on the internet and on social media and all these happy celebrities, that's not how their lives really are. I think we can get to our kids and they can realize that just because they're sad one day and they don't have everything they see online or in these Instagram pictures, that's okay. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.